Lesson 26, Solving Multi-Step Equations. Some equations require to be simplified before being solved. Steps to solve would be the distributive property, combining like terms, and then inverse operations and properties of equality. This right here, this list, is your steps. You follow those steps. If there's distributing, we do it first. If there's combining like terms on one side of the equal sign, we do that second, and then we use our inverse operations to solve. Okay, so it wants us to solve this and justify each step. So I have 3 plus x minus 10 plus 4x equals 28. Okay, so our steps were distributive property, combine like terms, properties of equality. So I don't have any distributing that needs to be done. So the next would be combining like terms that are on the same side of the equal sign. So on this side, this is as simplified as it gets. So on the left side, we have to find like terms. Like terms, remember, are terms that have the same variables with the same exponents. So 3 is just a constant term, and constant terms are always like terms with other constant terms. Here I have a variable that's not a constant term. I have negative 10 here. That would be a constant term. There's no variable. And then my 4x has a variable, not a constant term. So these two things would be like terms. And then I have plus x and plus 4x. Those are also like terms because they have the exact same variables and the exact same exponents. These are both understood raised to the first power. So I'm going to say that this is a like term with this. So I'm going to combine. I always make sure that when I'm boxing and circling, I take the sign that precedes the term so that I know what I'm doing with it. This I would read as 3 minus 10. So 3 minus 10 is going to be negative 7. Then I have x plus 4x. I hope that you remember if we don't have a coefficient showing in front of that variable, it's an understood coefficient of 1. So this would be positive 1 plus, or positive 1x plus 4x, which would give me a positive 5x. And that has to be equal to 28. Okay. Now what we need to do is we have to justify what we've done. So all that we've done at this point is combine like terms. Next step, we want to get x by itself, so we're only looking at the side that has x. That's this side over here. And the farthest thing away from x is this negative 7, so I'm going to add 7 to both sides. 7's will cancel. I'm left with 5x equals 35. And my justification for this step is properties of equality. Okay. Next, I still just want to get x by itself, so with the x is 5, they're being multiplied, the opposite is to divide. What I do to one side, we always do to the other side. So I'm left with x equals 7, and again, properties of equality. Okay. On this one, okay, I have 6x plus 2 times the quantity of 7 minus x plus 10 equals 20. I have 6x plus 2 times the quantity of 7 minus x plus 10 equals 20. Now our order of operations for doing this, our steps for this process, our distributing comes first. So the distributing that I have here is this 2, and it's a positive 2. So I'm going to distribute positive 2 to everything inside the parentheses. This 6x, nothing is changing with it, so it comes straight down. Then I know when I distribute, that means that I'm multiplying. So I'm going to say positive 2 times 7 gives me a positive 14. And then positive 2 times negative x gives me a negative 2x. Positive times a negative gives me a negative. 2 times x gives me 2x. Bring down my plus 10 that I hadn't done anything with, equals 20. And my justification for this is that I distributed. Okay. Now, at this point, we're at the same step as we were at the beginning of the last problem. Whenever I divide this equation for both sides of the equal sign, I have the left side and the right side. On the right side, it's completely simplified. On the left side, I have some simplifying to do. So 6x will be like terms with any term on this side that has x as part of its term, okay, as long as it's just x. So I have 6x. 14 is constant, it does not have a variable, minus 2x. I have x and x, they're both understood to the first power. Those would be like terms. And then I have 10, which is a constant. It's not like terms with those two, so we leave it as that. And then we just said that 14 and 10 are constants, so those are like terms. So I have 6x minus 2x gives me 4x. And then I have 14 plus 10 gives me 24 equals 20. And at this point I combine like terms. There's an E there, just interrupt. And that is an N. Okay, now I'm trying to get x by itself, so I'm only going to look at the side that has x. That's the left hand side. I have 4x plus 24. The farthest thing away from x here is this 24. It's a positive, so the opposite would be to subtract it. So 24s will cancel. I'm left with 4x. My equal sign comes straight down. 20 minus 24 is negative 4. And now to get x by itself, I have to do the opposite, which is to divide. What I do to one side, I must do to the other. Leaves me with x equals negative 1. So again, this was, I didn't write these two things down for my justification. Those two steps were both properties of equality. Okay, and my final answer is negative 1. It wants me to check it. For me to check it, I have to plug it in up here. I'm not going to do that with you. That should be something that you already know how to do. Okay, final example here. It says Laura cuts a triangle with angles of x, 5x, and x plus 40. What are the measures of the angles? So first we have to have some background knowledge about the angles of a triangle. Okay, something that we should always know about the angles of the triangle is that their sum is equal to 180 degrees. I hope that you were thinking that. Okay, so I know that if I add the angles that they've given me, it should equal 180 degrees. So, that being said, I want you to try it on your own paper and have that in your notes. I will see you in class tomorrow. Have a good night.